Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, and hey, happy election day. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. This is the place to go if you're looking for your news from Israel, coming to you directly from Israel. I'm Rivlin Marks, and let's take a look at today's top stories. Third time lucky. I'm wearing my lucky Irish top. I'm hoping that the shamrocks and the leprechauns will be with us for this third election in 1 year. But hey, no matter who you vote for today, the real winner is democracy. But Israelis are out at the polls in their numbers. As of noon today, we had a record high of 27.6% of the electorate out and voting. This is the highest it's been since 1999, and we hope that these numbers continue to climb throughout the day. And so far, everything's been relatively quiet and relatively orderly. We've had a few little spats between political parties. Otzma Yehudi accusing the Likud of sending out fake SMSs, but of course it wouldn't be an Israeli election without a little bit of drama. The main party leaders have cast their votes. Benny Gantz and his wife, Sarah Netanyahu, and Bibi Netanyahu casting their votes as well. We've heard from Israel's President Rivlin, who expressed a feeling of shame that we have gone to a third set of elections in the space of the year, and he says that this needs to work. We don't want another situation like this. We've heard from the joint list hoping to make history by going for an estimated 15 seats in the government if their electorate come out to vote. All the worries about coronavirus and how that could affect the election, nothing to worry about. The Electoral Commission have set up special voting areas for those who are undergoing quarantine. We have one of them right here in Modi'in, and so far everything's been good. And both Gantz and Netanyahu encouraging people to come out and vote, saying that coronavirus is not a threat and will not derail these elections. So where are we expected to stand once the results are in? Well, I'm not a fan of polls. I believe that it's only final when the numbers come in. But as far as building coalitions, which is that all-important job, the problem is that neither of the two big parties wish to sit with each other. And Avigdor Lieberman and his Yisrael Biteinu party, the party often referred to that as the Kingmaker, also refusing to join. So it's going to be interesting. Let's just hope that my lucky sweatshirt works, and that this next election we see a firm working government put in place. So as we say here in Israel, Pam Shlishlit Glida, the third time ice cream. Maybe that's the trick. So we will keep you updated right here on the Israel Brief as results are made public. In other news, as if battling the elections weren't enough, Bibi had to take on Bernie. Yes, Bernie Sanders, one of the presidential hopefuls for the Democratic Party in the USA, made some rather disparaging comments last week, refusing to attend AIPAC, the annual AIPAC conference, and calling the AIPAC conference a platform for bigots, and referring to Netanyahu and the Israeli government. And he did not specify parties. And there are some that say that as far as Bernie's concerned, that anybody kind of right of Meretz, which is the far left, he considers racist. But that's just one pundit's opinion. But Prime Minister Netanyahu took great exception at being insulted by Bernie Sanders, calling his comments libelous and outrageous. And we even had Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Ambassador Danny Danon, weighing in on this and saying, you know what, somebody like Bernie Sanders, who calls our leaders, our government, racist, is not welcome at AIPAC and is not welcome in Israel. And Sanders today defending his position, saying he is both pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli. However, many of us are concerned that some of the surrogates that Sanders has on his campaign, people like Linda Sasso, who are so blatantly anti-Israel and many would say anti-Semitic are a huge concern for us, and also allowing for the other Congresswoman Ilan Omar to address his rally is also cause for concern. She has been in the media quite a lot for her anti-Semitic comments. So Bernie, we're not buying it. When it comes to this argument, we're firmly behind Israel's leadership. And in the last story of the day, making headlines is the coronavirus. This is making headlines around the world, and Israel has recorded its 10th infection, this time a soldier in the IDF who contracted the virus. There are many across the country, over 1,700, who are at the moment in quarantine. Some very, very stringent quarantine laws taking place. Also, special voting areas have been set up for those fearing or those in quarantine, and Israel's police spokesperson Vicky Rosenfeld saying earlier today that the police are monitoring the cybersphere very, very carefully for any kind of fake news with regards to the coronavirus. So those are the updates coming from Israel on this election day. If you are Israeli and you're watching and you haven't voted, please go out there and vote. Every vote counts. It's our civic duty and a great sense of pride and a great privilege to be able to exercise this right here in the state of Israel. But if you're not voting and feel like reading, you can check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. We have a beautiful piece written by Stephanie Hodis about her recent visit to Poland. She describes how she felt visiting heartbreaking places like Majdanek, like Auschwitz and others. You can also check it out on our Facebook page. And while you're there, if you haven't liked or followed us yet, please do so. Every like and follow helps to make sure that our community grows. And many people have commented that they don't see news about Israel in the mainstream media. Well, you're going to get it right here on the Israel Brief. All you have to do is check out our channel on YouTube at the Israel Brief. Click on the subscribe button and you will be notified every time we post a brief. So for your election day edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rivlin and we'll chat again tomorrow.